Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Nona from theLineLover.com. I have another video for you in my series. We're going through all of the 12 seasonal color palettes for men, and today we are looking at the lovely golden soft autumn. So to give you some context, soft autumn sits between soft summer and true autumn, and if you need any more information on this, I've linked videos I've made in the description box. So back to comparing, we see soft autumn is muted then warm, and it's muted like it's adjacent season, soft summer, but it's muted then warm, whereas soft summer is muted then cool. But you can see that these two seasons have that very gentle level of contrast and that mutedness to their beauty. Now on the other side is true autumn, a lot more contrast, richer, deeper, more saturated in their coloring, but still warm. So soft autumn is warm like true autumn, but it's a lot more muted and it's less incredibly warm. Alright, let's take a closer look at these soft autumn features. Soft autumns are first and foremost muted. That is their most dominant quality. And then they lean warm. So by muted, I mean they have lower contrast between their features, their skin, their hair, their eyes, their beard. You can see that the kind of borders of their features, their brows and their hair aren't super opaque. There's a diffuse quality. There's this kind of like brushing out quality that renders the boundaries of their features less crisp and clear. They're softer. They're more muted. And looking at their undertones, they're just slightly warm. A touch of apricot or almond or honey or beige, but they are closer to neutral than incredibly warm. This is a generic soft autumn color palette, and by that I mean this palette is made for the idea of soft autumn. If you're a soft autumn, yes, most of these colors will look great on you, but remember that color needs to be assessed on an individual level because you are not an idea. You have your own unique features and possibly differing style priorities. So let me know if you need any help with that. I offer a service. Right, so let's get into our examples. Our first example is Chris Hemsworth. Soft autumn man. You can see that he looks great in these muted but slightly warmer colors like this rosy hue and this brown color with a white really brings out his eyebrows, his skin looks smoother. Same goes for this gentle olive green in the middle. And here, this very muted kind of minty green that is very beautiful on him. But then on the bottom, you can see that this pink is a little too bright, and you see the shirt on him instead of him as a cohesive image. And that's when you know something is not harmonious, when it's very dissimilar and it just sits on top of you instead of looking integrated. And that definitely applies for this black and white number. It just looks too dark, too crisp, too opaque. It's just very flat on him. Next up, we have Jesse Williams, and Jesse Williams wears so much beige. I looked through photos of him online and through his Instagram, and he really knows that beige is his color. It just makes him shine. It makes him look so bright and smooth. His features pop. They're defined. And the reason that his features pop, the reason that any color in your palette makes you look good is because they have a similar quality to your coloring. They match the level or intensity of your most dominant color qualities. And that creates a very cohesive, well distributed image. So if you can imagine like a painting, if you distribute color evenly over the painting, you can see the whole painting instead of another approach where you concentrate very contrasting color in different sections and suddenly the picture seems split into two. So we want to create a really unified, holistic image with seasonal color. So yes, these colors look amazing up top, and then you see on the bottom, these colors not horrible, but not the best. They don't have that same enhancement that the colors on top do. So this blue color is muted, yes, but it's a little a little too cool than ideal, I would say. He still looks good, especially because the color kind of bounces off his eyes. But it's not the best because he needs that little extra oomph from warmth that really brings out the liveliness in his skin tone. And on this side, we have a very deep, warm, rich brown, and it's just too heavy on him. All right, next up we have David Beckham, and you can see he looks lovely in these soft autumn colors. They just really bring out or enhance the intensity level of his hair, his eyes, his skin. They just look so harmonious and appropriate. Now on the bottom, you see these colors are really overwhelming on him because they don't have anything in common with him. They're not extending the natural qualities of his shading. The red is just too opaque, it's too heavy, it's too sharp, it's too much. You see him kind of like floating on top of the red sweater. And over here, the black and white, it's too heavy, it's too crisp, it's too cool. There's nothing warm and gentle about this color or the color pattern. All right, next up we have Tom Hardy, and he's wearing a really similar yellow in the middle that's lovely on the soft autumn. He's wearing this gentle kind of print here with colors that have lower variations in lightness and darkness. So that is a good pattern on him. And then this nice olive green in the middle here, it makes his hair look so good. On the bottom, this golden dark yellow is just too rich. It's too warm. It just looks very separate from him. And that's what I mean when soft autumns are leaning warm. They're not incredibly warm. So someone with very warm undertones would pull this off much, much more harmoniously. Now, that being said, he does lean warm, so very cool colors also don't work the best, like this very cool white and blue, and then this darker blue. It just looks flat on him because it doesn't speak to the slight golden hues in his hair and skin. And lastly, if you want to wear patterns as a soft autumn, I recommend going for well-dispersed colors with gentler variations in the contrast levels, and I would say gentler or more subtle distributions of shading overall, so nothing very loud and harsh. Even with these stripes, they look a little bit more gentle. There's this more even leveling off between each different shade. Now, I don't recommend very high contrast crisp patterns, nor do I recommend extremely intricate and dark patterns, especially in a slightly shiny material, because that often overwhelms the soft autumn's gentler coloring. And definitely, I don't recommend pinstripes that are in a very crisp color. These are too harsh. So that is it for today's video. I hope you can see the beauty of the soft autumn. They remind me of sunlight on the desert scape. Like if you've ever been in the desert on a very clear morning when the sun is just rising and it's bringing out all of the beautiful sandy tones, the rocks, the cactus greens that are faded by the sun. It's just a beautiful, gentle, I would say subtle kind of beauty that really embodies their coloring. So if you need any help, again, check out my services on thelinelover.com, and I'll see you in the next video. We are going over the soft summer.